You could go ahead and build the fire pit and then come to the brick later.
Yeah. We can put the sand down, we just don't want to final level it before.
So today we can get the fire pit done.
Well, we have to pack this in.
Right. First things first, pack it down, then sand, then fire pit.
And it was just really funny because he was laughing while he was screaming as loud as he could. And it was just, he got out of practice and came back in at the end and went through with the rest of it. It was just a funny time.
We don't realize how much he changed us. And as a coach, we're supposed to teach kids how to get through the tough times and how to work through tough things. But he was the one that was teaching me. He taught me more than I could have ever taught him. Sam's timing was always something that brought the humor. So he knew exactly when to time things and when to say things. And
The pool manager was pissed and he wanted to know who did it. So he sat us all down and he was yelling at us, like real mad. And then Sam walks out of the locker room and says, real loud, "Sorry guys, I just finished dropping a deuce."
Like, "Oh, hey Gib." And Sam just dies laughing and everyone's just having a great time. It was so funny. But
just another example of swimmers being very friendly and close.
Way open, way too open.
When they brought up their food, they brought them 2 full loaves of bread. And they were like, we wondered why it was so expensive, but we just thought it was expensive. And then, so they got like the full baguettes, and they just sat there and ate them. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it was funny. I guess he kind of had to be there for it to be funny, but it was pretty. We thought it was funny.
So when life gives you baguettes, they ate the whole baguette.
yeah. We both kind of knew that swimming and life and all, it's all bigger than we are, and we're just along for the ride and having a, you have a good race or a bad race, you still have to keep in perspective of what that means in life. And he had a good way of doing that.
My favorite memory was how, like, no matter, like, if he got a best time or not, after every swim meet, he would get out of the pool and he'd, like, come over and talk to Gibbler, and he'd always have the biggest smile on his face, like, even if it wasn't, like, the time he was shooting for. And, like, I don't know, he was always so positive, and like it influenced me to be happy, like even if something wasn't going right.
Let's back up. He got in the water within weeks of getting a new leg and still had stitches, and the hospital let him get in. And then when he wanted to swim in his first meet, I was scared to death. And he said, "I want to go off the blocks." So I had a silent panic attack and said, "Okay, you can go off the blocks." And so he dove, he swam his race, and then came over to me right after the race and was happy that he had accomplished that, but then wanted to know his time. And I said, "Oh, that doesn't matter." And he said, "Yes, it does." And then I told him, and he said, "Well, what time do I need to go to state?" And I mean, right out of surgery with his leg, he's still on crutches.
Yeah.
Already talking about going to state, and then he got to go. And he went and swam at state.
I had a pretty serious one. So when we were at state, my junior year and his senior year, Sam, we put him on the anchor leg of the 200 relay. And I mean, Sam wasn't like, he was not state level swimmer, but he was upper varsity, and I think his best time in the 50 was like a 24-1, 24 like in the ballpark. And he got up there, and Colleen made the announcement to the entire stands that he had like fought cancer and he had battled through that, and something just switched, just the adrenaline switch, or I think he got a little nervous and a little excited, and he pulled a 22.5 out of nowhere, and that was like a swim miracle. I've never seen that happen before.
That's unbelievable.
So I guess that's my most serious memory. He's not really a serious guy. I got a lot of happy memories I probably shouldn't share on camera though.
We were playing wiffle ball in the backyard, and it was super nice, but then it just started pouring. And we had a wood bat, and at first like it kind of slipped out of my hands, and so we all just kind of laughed it off. But then Sam got up, and we were all a little hesitant, so we kind of moved out of the way. But when he swung as hard as he could, and just went flying across the yard and almost hit us, but all of us were dead laughing, and it just kind of reminded me of like how much he was going through, yet he's just out here playing fun, acting like nothing's happening, just kind of living life.
What memory that always makes me laugh is when me and Sam went tubing right after one of his surgeries, and we kept hitting these bumps, and he'd say "ow," but he still had like the funnest time out there, and it was really great.
Most of our conversations were pretty deep. talking about life, faith. He knew he was headed to heaven, and we talked about it many times, and how that got him through a lot of the tough times when you start to question, well, will I ever do this in my life? Will I ever do that? But he was like, but he knows heaven's a greater thing.
I've been there in many of those lemon runs. If you ever go to a restaurant with Sam, you know,
a cup of lemons.
You got the cup of lemons.
It's a cup of lemons. Huh?
I don't
you got
know
the
why.
lemon request,
And it's with water.
He puts them in his water and in his tea, and sometimes on his food. Just like hit him with like, he probably had like 1,000 cavities. He had to have.
Lemon water was his alternative to everything.
Like his little shaman water. Just like put like a little like sprinkle of sage in it and
It'll be way down the road when these kids realize just how much he meant to them. I mean, they know right now and they're hurting bad, but I think the hugeness of it when they're adults, it's going to hit them. And he was just so special and did so many things for the community. So.
Great.